Good morning, everyone, and welcome. We're very happy that you're here. Such a good thing to be able to sit together. In particular, welcome to those who are new here this morning. My name is Karma Zopa. People just call me Zopa. And this is Eric from me. And we'll be helping guide the practice and discussion today. We also want to welcome those who are joining us through live streaming, and we want to thank all those who have made that possible. Can you hear in the back all right? Good. So we'll do our usual schedule this morning. We'll do about 45 minutes of calm abiding with some short guidance. We'll have a tea break, get to know each other a little bit. If you're new, feel free to come up and introduce yourselves or introduce yourself to anyone who's here. It's quite a friendly Sangha. And if you've been around a while, please reach out to someone who looks new to you. After our tea break, we'll do a question and answer period, and all questions are welcome. So we hope what you find here today is some sense of peace, sense of care for yourself, for the world, and refuge in what the Buddha, our teacher, taught. Which was and is still the Buddhist teachings. The nature of suffering is to be known. The cause is to be abandoned. The path out of suffering and to total happiness is to be practiced. And the final goal, nirvana, is to be achieved, experienced. So today we'll do some practice and some talking that hopefully helps us on that path. Today's Father's Day, and so we want to wish happiness, goodness, peace to all of our fathers, to all the fathers who are here, all the fathers in the world. We thank you for your care, for your families, for your workers, your co-workers, and for so many others. Even if you had a difficult time with your own father of this life, you can find some ways that he was kind to you. Even if he abandoned you, probably helped to make sure someone else cared for you. So think about that. And just take a moment to thank your own father or anyone who acted as a father toward you. One of the mind training slogans is always be grateful. We're so interdependent, so interconnected, far more than we realize, far more than we experience. For some reason, we tend to block it. And that reason seems to be the self-centered, self-cherishing attitude that narrows down our world into our own tight little karmic bubble. So let's start this morning by bringing to mind some of those aspects of interdependence. We have 9 Dharma friends and 4 staff out at our urban retreat, SCOL, on 3-year retreat, and they've just finished the first year. So we can bring them to mind. They're completely close to us. Their practice affects us, and our practice affects them deeply. Also, we can bring to mind those who are at the week-long Chenrezig retreat being led by Bill Spangle, just west of town, and wish them well as they do their practices. Sometimes when I sit down to do calm abiding, shine, shamatha, different words for the same thing. In my confusion, I think I'm just a solo being sitting down to do this thing that sometimes feels quite hard to get to, hard to make it a priority. Then every time I do it, I just can't believe that I resisted. And I hear from many people in the spiritual interviews that that's true for them too. So I'm often thinking what teachers have told me about how I can deepen and encourage my practice. How can I encourage myself? And one of the ways I do this is to remember whenever I sit, I'm there connected to countless others. And I can think of that as concentric circles, those closest to me. One of the traditional meditations is picture your mother of this life on your left, father of this life on your right, and extend it out, all of your relatives, then friends, and the Buddha in front. And then you take those who are difficult or who you might label enemies, and you put them in front of you, closer to the Buddha than you. And when I think of this kind of interconnected visualization, I realize it's not just a visualization, this is actually the truth. We sit in our own little dot in the universe, and for some reason, because of the confusion, we think that's the center dot. But everybody thinks that. So there's many, many centers. Ours is not better, not worse. Just another suffering sentient being, has the good karma, has earned the good karma to be on the path, and thus can help all others. So I tried to say, if I can remember to myself, I'm here on this cushion, connected to countless others, and this is one of the very best ways I can help them. I'll cultivate my natural clarity, my natural wisdom, my natural compassion, and then I'll bring that off the cushion to my family and to the world. I have to tell myself at times, no, my practice affects all beings. I know my practice affects all beings. I have to tell myself that. I have to kind of fake it till I make it, because that sense of aloneness, separateness, is pretty strong. My practice is completely interconnected. So we sit right here now, today, in Portland, and what we do affects everything in Orlando or anywhere else. Syria, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Palestine. It affects everyone because we're that interconnected. It doesn't matter if we can see it right now, it's just the truth. It's the truth whether we see it or not. So let's sit this morning knowing that this affects the entire universe. And let's sit with that kind of respect for our practice. And that kind of joy in our practice. This calm abiding is creating the skill to focus, to decide where we want to place our attention, and to be able to keep it there with no stress, just naturally, with no anxiety. It sets the foundation for coming to know the true nature of mind. And when we know the true nature of mind, first our own minds, all mind, that's the basis for being able to transform any and all suffering, to transform it into courage, to transform it into compassion, no matter what the circumstances are. Kala Rinpoche has a phrase in a prayer I often say that I learned from Lama Michael. Through this we can come to see that whatever arises is an aid on the path of awakening. Whatever arises, whether it's something we judge as beautiful, we judge as horrible, that can become an aid on the path of awakening. So this tool of calm abiding is a crucial piece for this. So let's engage in it this morning together, supporting one another, and begin by going for refuge and inspiring our bodhicitta for that purpose.
Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness.
There are many ways to lead the practice of Shine, to help guide it. Hundreds of teachings, you'll find them in the books we have in our bookstore from our amazing, kind, brilliant teachers. So it's simple to say what it is, and many of you have sat for many hours in your lives, so you know it's not simple to do. Really, we're not trying to do anything. We're stopping trying. What a relief. Simply notice your body on the cushion or the chair, your feet on the floor. Have your back as straight as it can be without stress. Find a place, and you can move back and forth, side to side, until you find a place where it's an equilibrium, pretty easy to sit. And then just stay in the present. Now, inevitably, the mind will go to the past. That's okay. Just bring it back. And then it will go to the future, making a plan of what you're going to do at the end of the session. What you're going to do Monday, Tuesday. You get lost in that a little bit, and then when you remember, rejoice and just come back. No judgment. Relax the mind, relax the body, relax self-talk. We're not doing anything. We're not being any particular person right now, and we're not even trying to meditate. Simply sit as relaxed as you can. Notice tension will creep in, and drop it and relax again. And watch what goes by, thoughts, sensations, emotions. Come and go, come and go. Simply don't follow and don't resist. You let them dance before you, they'll just untie themselves and disappear. So we meditate now gently, precisely, and somewhat persistently, yet with no stress. And bring the focus back over and over to your chosen object, which is most often the breath, or a very tiny bright image of the Buddha. But some of you already have other objects, so great. Use what works for you. And we'll do this until around, we'll do this for a while. There will be a short stretch break in a little bit. Enjoy your meditation. Good short stretch if you need it.
By this virtue may I quickly realize Mahamudra and establish all beings without exception in this state.
Okay, we'll have a break of about 15 minutes for tea. We have a few announcements just before that. Some of them I know. You might know some I don't know. So I'll say what I know. There's going to be a chance to do some art, some painting at SCOL, the retreat land, this summer. Beginners are welcome to come for Jeff Gunn's first class, and that will be all day Saturday, July 30th, out on the beautiful land with Jeff, which should be fantastic fun. And go online and look at that. Then there's another class in August, so if you're interested in doing some art out there, then go on the KCC website. Let's see, what's this one? In August 20th to 28th, there will be a week-long retreat. It's filling up, called Discovering Awareness, Relaxing in the Solace of the Three Solitudes by our good friend Lama Eric Trebelhorn. That should be a quite magnificent retreat to deepen your Shine practice and also move into Vipassana. SCOL out at the land is looking still for a full-time staff member to live there and work on the retreat land with an amazing staff and serve the retreat, which almost guarantees you'll get to do a long retreat in future lives. Karma does function. Okay, then closer date on July 16th, that's coming up in less than a month, Saturday. We're going to have a deep cleaning day here at the center. I'm going to take the altar apart, clean the back, do all that. It's altar purification time. We'll get into the corners that aren't gotten into. So it should be fun. Punsok and I will facilitate, and we're going to have sacred music and healthy snacks, and it'll be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, July 16th. There's no announcement up yet, but one will be up. And you can come for any part. You can come for a half hour. You can drop in for a half hour and clean a corner and leave. So we're looking forward to it, but we need a crew of at least 6 to make it meaningful. So if you can do that and you like to clean, or you don't like to clean, but you need to work on your aversion to cleaning, come and we'll have fun doing it. I think, one other thing. I want to take a moment to thank Mary Woods. She's not here today, but for the past 8 months leading the children's program, there were about 9 children that at different times during the 8 months went through and connected with the Dharma. And Mary led that with so much love and so much warmth. The children just loved coming. And of course the parents can then come down and meditate, so they loved it too. We ended up with a waiting list of 2 children we couldn't fit in, but we're hoping someday we'll find a bigger spot. So we're going to start up again in September, and if you're interested in helping with that, a number of people did just one class, like came and taught something they're interested in, and that was helpful too. So you can see we for Mary about that. And I also want to thank Pat Kirkup, who installed the lock that works in the bathroom off the kitchen, an actual lock that works. And he had to spend some time finding the right part. And Ludger Foreman, Deborah's husband, who came and fixed the lights on the front porch and cleaned and helped take our storm windows down. So thank you all for helping make the center work. Okay, let's have tea unless somebody knows another announcement. Yeah.
Just a reminder that the Young Adult Meditators Group meets the first Friday of every month, and so that's coming up the first Friday in July, I think is like the first or second. And it's like we say young or self-identified as young, so whatever that means to you. So chat with me if you have any questions.
Great, good. Any other announcement? Okay, have tea, have fun. See you at discussion, hopefully.